Looters in Dominica hurting hurricane recovery efforts. And in sport, American track star Justin Gatlin to participate in next year's Grenada Invitational. I'm Ricardo Roberts and this is Caribbean in 10 for Tuesday, September 26th. I'll be back with the details after the break.
Check out the Night Flyer as Ashton Bookers lights up the night with a one-of-a-kind battery-powered suit.
2 years in China flying night shows just like this one. Well, a little bit different. Every night, 365 days of the year. Still so.
Woo! Funny, with so many cool things to do here at the mountaintop, I didn't hear anyone mention perch fishing. We're having a heck of a time here from Vermont. Fishing is tough. You know, things, yeah, they better start going my way. And at this point, it's all about trying to get a couple big fish just to say it was a good day in the water. Again, never been on the lake, 5-mile-an-hour speed limit, very, very difficult. That's no excuse, we're gonna get them.
Dominica's President Charles Savarin has warned that looters and other people engaged in criminal behavior in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria are making life more difficult for the population. He says looters are hurting efforts to restore services and provide aid, and lawlessness can only cause more harm and distress to those who have survived and those trying to help the country recover from the ravages of a hurricane that has been blamed for the loss of at least 27 lives and millions of dollars in damages. In an address on local radio today, Savarin pointed out that people who broke into and stole material from the Dominica Water and Sewage Company Limited had hampered efforts to restore water in a section of the island on Sunday, as they had stolen generators, pumps, tools, power saws, chainsaws and water tanks.
Responsible were not seeking food to feed themselves and their families, but were engaged in criminal activities of the worst kind. There are similar activities elsewhere, where business places, containers and warehouses which were not damaged by Hurricane Maria were broken into and looted. I call on all community leaders, the church or churches, service clubs, NGOs, parliamentary representatives and other members of parliament, and leaders of trade unions to join me in condemning this criminal behavior.
7 so-called high-risk prisoners from the British Virgin Islands have arrived in St. Lucia to continue serving their sentences at the Bordelais Correctional Facility under an agreement reached between the two countries following the passage of Hurricane Irma earlier this month. The group arrived yesterday on a Royal Air Force Airbus and were transported under heavily armed guard to the prison. Prime Minister Alan Chasney had earlier announced that government had agreed to temporarily house prisoners from the BVI after the prison there was severely damaged during the passage of the hurricane. The prison itself has sought to allay public fears about the presence of the foreign prisoners, indicating that special arrangements have been in place to secure the visitors. Programs Manager Virginia Lesmond Joseph told reporters yesterday evening that the BVI inmates, whom she described as high risk, would be separated from the general population. She said the prison's capacity is 500, but the population is currently at its lowest. At its lowest. Now, at least 150 inmates escaped after the BVI facility was damaged by Hurricane Irma on September 6th, but most were recaptured and some returned on their own. BVI officials say only 6 low-risk prisoners remain at large. A warning for Caribbean countries following the destruction caused by Hurricane Maria in Dominica. Senior lecturer at the St. Augustine campus of the University of the West Indies, Dr. Richard Clark, says one of the biggest lessons from the storm is that it is important for the Caribbean to now seriously consider the impact of global warming. Clark, who is in Dominica as part of the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency Rapid Response Team, tells CMC News there is need to investigate the impact of global warming on designing for current design wind speeds in the Caribbean.
The biggest lesson that we've learned is that it is important for us to seriously consider the impact of global warming on the level of the hurricane, the level of the wind speed that we need to be designing for. If we are to go with only historical records, meaning prior to the increase in the effect of global warming, then we will be out. So even if we design to the current wind speeds, when the effect of global warming kicks in, we would have under-designed the structure. So we seriously need to investigate the impact of global warming on the current design wind speeds for the Caribbean.
Stay with us, your Midday Sport is next.
This ornate wrought iron fence proved almost fatal to an 11-year-old mixed breed terrier. He tried to leap over it and didn't make it, becoming impaled in the process. Local firefighters and hospital workers arrived quickly on the scene and freed the animal, cutting a 3-by-2 foot section of the fence with the dog attached. Now they need to get the injured pooch to the veterinary hospital quickly.
The camaraderie here is just unbelievable. And I'll tell you what, I just want to be part of it. Everybody does. When you just come here, you just realize you just want to be part of this. And you want to be part of these people because they are just phenomenal.
Got a family again.
American track star Justin Gatling plans to make the Grenada Invitational a part of his early season schedule next year. The reigning world champion was forced out of this year's showpiece with injury, but said his focus was already on making up for that disappointment. The 35-year-old had been expected to be part of a star-studded lineup for the inaugural Grenada Invitational last April, but failed to participate because of injury. Now, if he does take part next year, he will do so with the added status of world champion after toppling legendary Usain Bolt last month in London to win the 100 meters title. The Grenada Invitational was headlined by the likes of former world and Olympic champion American LaShawn Merritt, another former 400-meter world champion Karani James of Grenada, and Jamaican Veronica Campbell-Brown, a former world and Olympic 200-meter title holder. And Bermudan midfielder Reggie Lambie netted his 4th goal of the season as rampant Carlisle United won 5-0 at Crewe Alexandra in an English League 2 match on Saturday. Live wire Lambie also won a penalty and hit the post as 15th place Carlisle won for the first time in 6 games. Now defender Danny Granger put the visitors ahead in the 13th minute with a left-footed strike into the far corner. Carlisle doubled their lead in the 40th minute after former Carlisle player Michael Rains tripped Lambie as he burst into the box, and Granger added to his earlier strike by slotting home the penalty as he sent goalkeeper Ben Garrett the wrong way. Carlisle added a third in the 72nd minute when Rains diverted an in-swinger Granger corner into his own net. Lambie added to Crewe's misery 3 minutes later when he took a pass from Jamie Devitt. That's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.